Who is Mr. Keith Douglas.
Good evening. Everybody having a good time? Yeah. Oh, got some Americans in the back there. I'm glad, and I hope it continues. You're all hoping for my sake it continues too. I'm gonna reckon. And just before I start, if anybody has any Xanax, you could probably do some pretty good business up the back. Because there's like 7 totally nervous people there. I reckon you could do 20, 30 a pill. Yeah, I'm just giving you some market opportunities in these dark economic times. And so, this is the triumph. 8 weeks we've been at it. 8 weeks. We've been trained by the finest comedy minds that Amsterdam could assemble, or those that we could pull at the coffee shops anyway. And I'm grateful. I'm really grateful because, you know, when your parents call you Keith, God gives you red hair. Thanks. And Father Time has just given you a little bit too much storage space, and you still want to make your mark in the world. I reckon it's this stand-up comedy, or it's a spot of serial killing for me. So I'll be around at Lisa's house later, and I'm hoping you're all going to laugh. Laugh like your health depends on it. And for the atheists out there, I know God didn't give me red hair. 2 ginger grannies did. They stiffed me with it. And it's a terrible, terrible affliction, especially when you've just forgotten your lines. And you're desperately trying to remember what you're going to say next. And,
orange.
Oh, thanks. I know I've got orange here. I just don't know what I'm going to say next. That's my problem. Give me a minute. I knew this link was the weak one. It was like the little guy, you know that's just going to get thrown off the weakest link. This was it. And yeah. And honestly, it was 2 ginger grannies. Both my parents have black hair, and it wasn't because the milkman made an extra delivery of milk when my father was away at work. Because, you know, ginger-haired men, first thing in the morning, in the pale Scottish sun, they're not handsome. It's true. My mother's told me she doesn't really like ginger men anyway. It's true. So, how's it having 2 ginger kids working out for you there, mother? I retorted. Well, no risk of grandparents, is there? Grandchildren, is there? She replied. And I thought, having this phone call, it might be time to put the phone down, because I know where this is going. So why aren't you married, son? Because you and dad made me a ginger mom. That's kind of hard. Oh, right. Why don't you have any kids? Well, because you told me sex before marriage is wrong. I'm a poor mother. She puts the phone down, face palms. It's like, oh my God. My son's the friend zone guy. He's an internet meme. I'm so humiliated. And then she's like, oh well, you know. She goes back to her sick Scandinavian crime novels, full of vicious serial killers and dysfunctional policemen. And you know, it's the things you might have to do to get the love of a mother and the attention of a mother is, you know, what can you do? And of course, I get that joke's going to get really old soon. You're like, I don't care, just get on with it. Really. And you know, it's I mean, there's a truth in this. I mean, it's like women will dye their hair red to make themselves more attractive to men, apparently, or a partner in these modern times. Covering all bases there. And here we go again. You're going to be just laughing at me soon. This is like the nightmare I had last night. And this morning too. It's, you know, it's like, but you've never seen a guy dye his hair red. I mean, not like a funky punk red, and that's okay. But you know, that kind of shade that comes between wiping your arse with an orange after some spicy food. And oh dear God, why did you forsake that poor bastard? You know? I mean, and you have to ask yourself, you know, why are there still gingers in the world? Because we're slightly reviled. Well, it's because gingers are a recessive gene, or sneaky ginger bastards. So if both your parents are concealed carriers, you've got the ginger. If, say, your mother's clean, and your father's packing some ginger making baby gravy, you're going to dodge that bullet. But your kids might not. And, you know, gingers, you know, there is an advantage to it. I mean, obviously, good looks doesn't come from the ginger gene, but a tolerance for a lack of sunlight does. So come the winter, we're all happy, you're all sad, and we're all doubly happy because you're sad too. And, oh yes, third time lucky. And there was a really good line here. I think I might have to skip it. You know what? Once I humiliate myself on stage, it seems to come back to me. And then you laugh, and then it goes. Thank you very much. I'm not finished yet. You can stop clapping. You're not going to get me off the stage just by an enthusiastic clap. I am here until you pull me off, or until I run out of material, and not just forget it. But it's true. It's in the Middle Ages. People thought gingers had no souls, or that they were Jewish, which in the Middle Ages was actually worse than being ginger. And the Middle Ages started about 1100 AD, and they went on until gunpowder made war a little too random for the ruling classes, and then they got rid of the knives. And it was kind of like Scarface, like the movie Scarface, but instead of doing coke, they were doing Christianity. They were doing crack Christianity. Because in 1000 AD, a charismatic Jewish preacher didn't bother making the Messiah come back to her, and people were angry. They thought he was. When he was on the cross, he arnied to them, "I'll be back." Folks didn't have their word. He never turned up. Then folks got pissed. And then they got bitter. And then they got mean. And then they got medieval in our asses. And woe betide you if you were a ginger. Anyway, good night. I know. Now you can clap. Thank you.